record. All right, hey guys, feeling a bit overwhelmed. Oh, hang in there, Sonia. We're here for you. We'll get you perked up by the end of the night. Well, in the next half hour, that's all I've got. It is Monday. It is June 15th. You guys, we're halfway through the month. We are almost halfway through the year. That is mind-boggling, like literally mind-boggling, because I don't know, that pandemic, I guess, I feel like there's a whole 3 months of my life, or at least 2 months, that are just sort of like, did they happen? But they did. So we're almost to halfway through the year, and we're definitely halfway through the month. I posted earlier, and I'm going to pull it up just in case it's changed in the last few hours, but as a team, Dream Team is far exceeding where we have been at this point in time in a long time. So we are currently sitting at $73,915 as a team on the 15th of the month. That is phenomenal, like beyond phenomenal. And I'm going to give credit where credit is due, and that is in rate of run. Once this whole team started thinking in the terms of rate of run and not rank, amazing things have happened, like crazy amazing. So I want you guys to really wrap your mind around rate of run. If you aren't currently using rate of run, let me know. If you're confused by it, let me know. I promise it's an easy math problem, but it can change your whole mindset when it comes to the growth of your business. And it's funny because in our other businesses, we don't have a rank to reach. Like, we just have to do business. So I guess in those other businesses, I never thought to slow down, or I never thought to celebrate necessarily, because there's never like a thing that we're reaching to celebrate. And in my Lavelle business, I was just constantly reaching for that thing to celebrate, and then I would lose momentum because we had reached it as a team. And so I love this rate of run because it's just constantly got us going for the next best thing, the next greatest thing that we can do as a team. And that number sitting that high at this point of the month, that's a lot of people thriving. That's a lot of people feeling good. That's a lot of people whose lives have been affected by this team. And I think that's the most amazing part of it all. And when I say lives, I don't just mean health and wellness. There's a lot of people on this team who are getting paychecks that are paying down debt, paying for college, putting, new floors in their house. I'm looking at Sonia. So you got to remember that you offer two things as a Lavelle promoter. You offer the ability to help someone feel good, but you are also offering the ability for someone to turn their financial well-being around. And if you guys have ever had financial hardship, you know how that can affect your actual physical health. Like, that stress can actually affect you both ways. So the fact that you can offer that is amazing. Tom just left and the dogs are, hang on, hold on. Okay, there's nobody here to take you outside right now. Okay, no one's here to take him outside, so he's gonna hang out with us. So what I want to talk to you guys about tonight, I had a whole other topic, and then earlier on my walk back to work, I was listening to a Zoom from a different team, and she said something so amazing that I was like, that's it, I'm changing my whole topic for the night. This is where we're going with. And so the quote that I took away from her was, be someone that you would want to duplicate, and duplicate someone you would want to be. So I'll say that again. Be someone that you would want to be duplicated. So like, what do you, like, I would love to have a bunch of Tammys on my team. I would love to have a bunch of people who do their reach outs every day, who do just all the stuff I do. I would love to have somebody who does that. So I try to be the leader of the person that I would want to be. So be who you would want to be be who you would want to be duplicated, and duplicate who you would want to be. And so even while I'm trying to be the best I can, because I want it to be, something that someone could follow and duplicate, I am still looking outside of myself to see who's doing better than me, who is working harder than me, who has a different technique than me that's working, and I want to duplicate them. And duplication is the core of this entire business that we're in. They call this network marketing. They call this multi-level marketing, because we're literally supposed to be the different levels, and we're just supposed to be duplicating what we do. And that's why for a long time I've been trying to use videos and have the videos on the YouTube, because I want people to be able to take what I have already used or created and use it. That's not to say that you can't go create your own video. So there's a part where I'm doing something that you can use, but it's also there for you to use as a guideline for you to create your own. So for example, if you're in any three-way chat with me of any kind, promoter or customer, you have seen the video where I say, welcome to your Thrive experience. And it's just literally me sitting there with the 3 steps saying, here's what's coming your way. Here's how you take it. Here's how I take it. I just go over like the easy peasies. And so while it's there and it's easy to copy and share, it's also a great guideline for you to, when you are ready and you feel comfortable, to dive in and make your own video to then start sharing with your team. So be who you want to be duplicated and duplicate who you want to be. When I was listening to this and I heard this, the first thing I thought of, so you guys, you know, we have a new business and it's not glamorous. It can be smelly and dirty. And as far as I'm concerned, a lot of it is what I call boys work. And yes, I want to grow the business to the point where we need to hire someone to come and do it. But here's the thing, I can't hire somebody and tell them how to do something if I don't know how to do it. So when I'm out there scrubbing a garbage can and I'm getting baby diaper smell all up in my face, is it fun? No. But do I know what I expect for someone to now do that job? Yes. And so that's how I want you to think about that. When you are looking at your team and you're like, gosh, I wish my team was XYZ. Are you doing it? Because if you're not XYZ, they sure as hell aren't going to XYZ. Right? If you wish people on your team would do Facebook Lives, are you doing Facebook Lives? If you wish people would do Instagram stories, are you doing Instagram stories? If you wish people would, you know, go to 12K, are you going to 12K? And when I say, are you going to 12K, I don't mean, are you hitting that goal every month? Are you pushing for a goal every month? So there are people on this team who can hit 12K without lifting a finger at this point in their career, right? But if they don't lift fingers, then their team is going to stop lifting fingers and they will eventually lose that. So it's just, if you want your team to chase and achieve goals, are you chasing and achieving goals? And so I want to really kind of turn the mirror, and I try to do this to myself as frequently as possible, but turn the mirror on yourself. What are you doing? How are you running your business every day? Are you doing all the things that you would want your team members to do? If they were to follow you around for the day and see how you're running your business and use that as their guideline, could they go home and do exactly what you just did and build a business? And I'll be honest, there are days where probably no. Probably maybe I spent an hour extra in the garden that I should have been doing reach outs. Do I want them to do that? No. So I want you to think about how you're structuring your day. And I know the beauty of what we do is that we all have very different schedules and we all have very different lives, but yet we can fit this in. And so when I'm saying, you know, maybe somebody were to watch me and be like, oh, she did 30 reach outs today. Maybe I sat down and did all 30 at once, or maybe I did 3 every hour on the hour in between clients. However somebody gets to that number is good. Like, you know, so whatever they do to make it work is good. But do they have an example in their leader to do what they need to do? And you guys, I take this to heart. Like, I'm sitting here saying it, and I was like, I think I've done all my stuff today. Like, I know I did all of my reach outs today. So I always want to make sure that I'm doing what I need to do, because I want you to, I literally, when people call me and say, I can't do this, or I don't know how to do this, or I'm too busy to do this, or whatever the heck they want to tell me, I want to be able to look at them and say, yes, you absolutely 110,000% can. And here is why. And I want to walk them through my day and explain to them how I did it and how they can do it too. With that said, I also want you guys to look outside of yourself. It doesn't always have to be your upline who could be the person that inspires you. It could be somebody else's upline. It could be somebody from a completely different company even. You don't, network marketing is network marketing. So you don't even have to really look at another Lavelle person. If you find, I know there's that Sarah Robbins girl who is a Rodan and Fields person. You know, if you find somebody like that is teaching something and showing you a different way and something that really suits, you know, makes you feel like that's the direction you can go, then by all means look up to somebody and find out. I mean, it's totally cliche, but success leaves clues, right? Like when I look at Maria, that there's a lot of clues there, right? There's a ton of people between Maria and us who do nothing, and they make a lot of money doing nothing. And my point is, Maria could literally do nothing every day of the week for the rest of her life if she chose to, and still make plenty of money. But she doesn't. She dives in. She connects with her team. She's constantly adding new customers. She chases promos. She does all these things. And that's what I look for. Like, that's what I look to, is someone who is constantly in the game. So, you know, momentum is what we're always striving for, right? And we definitely have momentum right now. And I think some people will look at that and be like, well, you know, this team is really lucky right now. They're really lucky because there was a pandemic and a lot of them got to stay home. I don't know, whatever. Momentum has nothing to do with luck. Momentum is consistency in action. When you are consistent in your effort, so think about weight loss. Anytime you've ever like started to lose, like let's say you wanted to lose 30 pounds and you lost a pound, you don't stop, right? That's your momentum. You keep doing what you were doing to lose that pound, to then lose 2, to then lose 5, to then go on and on and on. And so it's the same thing. When you get that new customer, don't stop. When you hit 4K, don't stop. That's your momentum. Keep doing what got you there. Keep being consistent. When I think of all the activity that went in to the last 2 months to get us from a $73,000 team to a $103,000 team, to what we're on track for right now is almost $150,000 team. That's not luck. That's not just happening. It's not just, you know, I don't know. If it were to just happen and fall from the sky, we could have requested that a long time ago, right? But it's not. It's all the activity that happened in February, in March, in April, and in May. That's why these months look so good. So when you are looking at your numbers, I don't want you to not celebrate where you are or not celebrate the effort that's gone into it. But remember, don't stop. Like, I love that we, as a team, I love that we celebrate whenever we get a new promoter and a new customer. And if you look at some of the other team pages, they don't do that. And I used to think it was because the teams were too big to do that, but your team is never too big to celebrate. Somebody has an upline somewhere. Somebody has a cloud report somewhere saying Sandra got a new customer. So to me, it's important to celebrate that. But then it's literally like, okay, good job, next. Like, where are we going next? So I want you to think about your daily routine. I want you to think, if you literally had a newbie next to you and you were supposed to be training the newbie, is what you're doing what you would actually want the newbie to be doing, right? Like, are you scrolling on Facebook? Is that what's paying your bills? Or did you have a great check this week because last month you busted hump? Because that's where the disconnect comes from. You know, we had people hit 12K for the first time last month. You all know they have to hit that again. Like, we all start at 0 at the beginning of every single month. We have a team on track to hit 80K for the first time ever in our downline. And they have to bust hump to hit that every single month. There's almost nothing more devastating than the first of the month when you see the big fat goose egg. Then you worked so hard. Like, we literally, I just remember looking at the cloud at whatever, almost midnight. And I was like, we are at $103,000. And then it switched to nothing, to 0. I was like, oh, I'm going to bed. I'm crushed. But again, that number, as amazing as that number was, I knew that wasn't the number we were going to stick with, because we were going to keep going. We were going to keep that momentum going. And so I cannot encourage you enough to look at the volume that you are sitting on right now. Do your rate of run for that volume, so that you have an idea of where you're going to end the month, and use that number to motivate you. It's either going to be where you want it to be, it's going to be below where you want it to be. And if it's below, that's when you've got to be like, okay, self, what do I need to be doing? And maybe it's higher than you thought. And so that's a joyride right there. Ride that out. Keep working for that. Keep pushing for that momentum. But just remember, when you hit a rank, when you hit a goal, when you earn a trip, it's not luck. The harder I work, the luckier I get. That is a famous quote, and that is something that I live by. I love when people tell me how lucky I am. And I like the fact that from the outside things look lucky. I like that. I want to have a life where people are like, wow, she's lucky. But I know where it comes from. I know it comes from the day to doing the ugly stuff, like the work that nobody wants to do. Okay, so talk amongst yourselves. Hang on. What is the problem? Okay, all the wiener dogs unite. Yeah, is that Ozzy? Ozzy, here's Radar. Radar's being a real stinker today. I swear, it's every time Tom leaves, they decide they need me. But anyway, so let's chit chat amongst. Oh, there is some chat, and I'm missing it. Dang it! What's it say? Okay. Oh, so okay. That's my. Lacey says yes. My goal for this month is to make videos. Oh yes, and you're going to be so good at it, Lacey. Put the baby in there. I want to watch videos. Olivia says now I need one. Goal vision board. Get a weenie dog. Oh, girl, be careful what you wish for. They are high maintenance. High maintenance. Sweet, but high maintenance. So let's talk. What are you guys? Okay, first of all, most of you I know are sitting at a higher volume than you're like, what the hey? Like, this is so exciting. So let's celebrate that. Let's talk about how you think or how you know you got there. What is something that you or your team are doing? Or maybe they've been they've been doing the last couple months. You know, what's been happening that is creating this for us? Like, I know what I think is happening, and I see it from all the different legs of the team, and it's flipping amazing. But you guys talk, share. What are you doing? What are you seeing? Sandra, you're open.
So y'all are going to kind of laugh at me here, but I do keep track almost like, I don't want to say like day to day and be like anal about it, but I do check my rate of run every day for the last 2 months. But compared to April 15th to today, I am $3,300 higher on June 15th than I was on April 15th. Okay, so what in the heck? What's going on? There's more activity amongst the different legs rather than just being within a couple of legs. Mm-hmm. So there's more activity that's going on. My reach outs. I did my birthdays this morning.
Yay!
So, I mean, it's just, and I think when I really could see the difference in that rate of run, because I would get close to 12K and think, okay, I'm nearly there, you know, and then I would just stop. But when I'm looking at my rate of run now today being $18,780, I'm like, ooh, let's get to 20, you know, so it gives you something more, I think, than just going, okay, from 12K to 40K. That's a big old honking freaking jump.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, and I think it all has to do with checking my rate of run every single day. And I get ticked off at myself if it goes below 15,000.
Uh-huh. Yeah, see, I think that, I know maybe some people would argue this, but you are a business. All of you are a business. There is no way you would walk into like Nike and ask someone in corporate, you know, what are your numbers? There's no way they wouldn't know what the numbers were for that very day at that very moment. And it's because they're a business. And so when you start treating yourself like this business that you really truly are, and you start to know where you're at, and you start to understand where your numbers are coming from, that is when you take control of the numbers. It's when you hope to hit a number, or you hope your team is going to rally and hit a number. Like, for example, last month, I wanted you guys to get to $100,000. I didn't just hope. I didn't just go, gosh, I hope they get there. I freaking put money on the line. I was on the horn all day with everybody. We were doing rebates. We were doing all the things. I took control of that number because that's how you control your business. Now, can you control a customer? No. You can educate them. You can inspire them. You can do all the things, but you cannot control what they're going to do. Same with your promoters. So you have to control what you can control. That's your numbers. If you see that your numbers are low, that means your activity needs to go high. And so if you only check your rate of run once a week, once every 3 days, you've lost the opportunity. Let's say you checked your rate of run last Monday and you were on track, and you haven't checked it until today, and now you're not on track. You've lost 7 whole days of the chance to get your rate of run back where it needed to be. So I am all for checking rate of run every single day. And I won't be ashamed to tell you, I check it 2 or 3 times some days, especially on like promos and auto ships when it really starts to, you know, change things for us. So Yeah, that your numbers are your business. Okay, TJ says, I've been bugging the heck out of my samples, and I think all but 2 of my recent trials ordered. Yes. Okay, and I'm going to comment on this, TJ. You have not been bugging your people. What you've been doing is working your 3-way chats. I'm in a lot of 3-way chats with TJ, Samantha's in a lot of others with him. And I will look, I'll be doing something, and I'll pull my phone up, and there's TJ and so-and-so, TJ and so-and-so. And he's literally like, hey, did you get your sample? Or hey, how did it go last week at the whatever? He's talking to these people on a regular basis about something. And so I don't think that it's wearing them down. I don't think it's bugging them. I mean, I've used this example before. I get an email almost every day from Kohl's. That doesn't bug me. If I need something, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good reminder. If I don't need something, I scroll on. So if you have 3-way chats with people and you're not popping in them on a regular basis, if they're doing a trial pack, then you need to be popping in on a daily basis. If they're brand new Thrivers, on a daily basis. If this is someone who's talked to you about Thrive, but maybe hasn't ordered yet, I would talk to him on a weekly basis. And so, like I saw, so Laura said, what are you saying, TJ? And like, okay, so he just said it depends. I mean, I've seen him say, how did it go this weekend? Like, so, some people are like, oh, I didn't start my trial yet because I think the one girl was like remodeling her bathroom. So TJ waited till Monday and said, hey, how'd the remodel go? He's just literally staying in there. Now, when people have ghosted him, he has gone in and done the infamous, have I offended you? And that always gets them to come back. So the point is, he's not letting those chats sit. He's not forgetting. It's really easy. I mean, I'm sure your guys' messenger is the same way. It gets packed. Somebody could be way down in my messenger and I forget. TJ's taking responsibility of that. He's writing these people's names down, or however you're doing it, TJ, but he is staying on top of these 3-way chats. And that is, oh yeah, Sandra uses an emoji. So like if you can pick an emoji to represent like someone on a trial, and they can all have the emoji, like maybe, let's say if it's a trial, they're a cowboy. All your trial people would have a cowboy. So if you want to start looking for trial pack people, you just type in the cowboy emoji and they all start pulling up. Let's say you have a brand new Thriver and they're a star. So you would type in the star. That's a great way to keep track of people. Courtney, I'm going to go back. Courtney says, I feel like I've been a little more bold in my social media and I've stopped worrying about my algorithm stuff and just posting if I'm feeling it. People are going to know I'm a Thriver and I'm not going to hide it. Yes, 110%. There have been so many posts lately where I literally feel slightly nauseous before I click send, and I start thinking like all the things in my head about I should take this part out, and I just hit send, like I'm just petrified, and I hit the button anyway. And you know what? They're fine. No one's died. Everything's been good. People are getting to know the real me a whole lot better because I'm not editing all my stuff to pieces. But yes, I know that there was once a time where a different company had a person who posed as a social media expert, and they did tons of videos about how you shouldn't say who you work for and you should make people super curious. And basically what happened was a lot of people sent them messages and said, oh, how do you do that? And then they recruited them into their company. So they weren't really selling product, but they were farming people. So you're not going to see an Apple commercial without seeing the emblem, without seeing a phone, without seeing a computer. So why on earth would you walk around and make posts that allude to something that you may or may not take when you could clearly be like, here it is. It's plain Jane. Sam says, I do the same thing, Courtney. If I feel like, if you feel the need to post something, post. Now, I do always go back to the inspire, inform, and entertain that I have on my calendar, because there are some days where I just feel brain dead, or that little voice in my head's like, nobody cares what you have to say today, Tammy. And I have to shut her up and be like, oh yeah, they do. I'm going to inspire someone, inform someone, entertain people. Like I will shut her down and do my stuff anyway. So post what you feel. That's what social media is. What are you feeling? What are you doing? TJ says, I love the idea of the emoji in the name. I'm going to have to do that. Yeah, it really will help clean up your messenger. You just have to remember when somebody goes from a trial to an actual newbie or something like that to make sure you change the emoji. Just so you know. So, okay, does anybody else want to add? Oh, Courtney. It won't let me unmute you, babe. There you go. You're good.
Hey, I just wanted to say on that whole emoji thing in the group chat. So I've been in a couple group chats with Sandra, and she had gone back and put those emojis in the group chats, and it bumped those messages right to the top of my inbox. So that is a good way of
fire it back up.
Yeah, because I got a notification for that. Because I got that notification, and so the people that are in that group chat that might be not really talking, they're getting that notification too. So I just wanted to say that.
That is super good. Go, Sandra.
Okay. So the reason it took it back up to her group chat or into her messages is because when I initially created it, it used to let you put the emoji in right away. But what I had to do is once I created the group, like let's say I'm doing a 3-way chat for Courtney, she's my customer, and you're the upline I'm putting in there. For some reason, it's been putting the upline's name in first, and instead of the customer's name being in there. So I'm gonna keep seeing all these Tammy's. And no, it's not bad, but I'm just like, how many Tammys do I have? So, because I do have some other Tammys, but if you go in and edit, then you can actually finally put the emoji in.
Okay.
And then you can flip the names around so that if you need to, so that you can see which customer it is that you've got the chat group for. But it hasn't been letting me put the emoji until I go in and I edit the name.
Okay. Sam says, sorry guys, I had to hop off. Emergency at the AT&T store. I hope that this means she's getting an upgrade on that laptop that we've been talking about. I told her the other day, 80Ks need a good laptop. Does anybody know, can you get those at the AT&T store, or is this just a cell phone situation? We're rooting for you, Sam. Anybody else? Anybody else have something you want to add? Just anything. It doesn't even have to do with what we've been talking about. This is our chance to be together. Oh, Lacey, I cannot unmute you. You're gonna have to unmute yourself. Can you do that? Okay, you're good. You're open.
Okay. So I have a question. So if you go and change the emoji on a chat, what do you say to that person? It bumps it up. They see that you changed the emoji. I don't want to be like, hey, I'm just a creeper and I'm changing emoji on your thing. Like, how do you approach that? What do you say to someone when they have that question?
I've changed mine recently. Nobody's asked me squat.
Really?
Yeah, really. But mine is, and you got to make it where it's personal for you. Mine's the smiley face with a cowboy hat. Well, hello, and so nobody thinks anything of it.
Gotcha.
I use the same emoji for everybody, whether they're a customer, 3-way, or trial pack, whatever.
Okay.
TJ just said, I had much better results with the mail-out trials from Lavelle rather than my own. So he's talking about where you can go in the cloud office, order the trial, and mail them out. Does anyone else agree with that? Do you feel like it's obviously way easier because you're not having to go back and forth to the post office. But I also think a lot of your success, TJ, has come from the fact that you have not let those 3-way chats die. You have stayed in there. And it's funny because TJ will get in the chats and then he'll get in his upline chat and be like, I'm low-key bugging her today. And I'm like, no, it's good. Oh yeah, or buy postage twice. TJ accidentally got the wrong postage the other day, so he bought it twice. Anybody else? Anybody else want to share? Olivia. There you go. You're good.
Sam Clark, this is her first team Zoom, and she just got her customer by herself that's not her husband or her mother-in-law.
Yay! Good job, Samantha Clark. One of these days we'll see your little face. All right. Oh, Sonia says, I haven't had any luck with any type of trial packs. I can't even get any out. You know what? It might just not be time. I go through phases where where I get almost annoyed because I go to the post office and then I come home and somebody wants it and I'm like, I was just there. And then I go through where it's complete dry spells where nobody wants a trial. So I don't know. Is anyone totally consistent? Oh, Laura says, same here. I offered them, but no one wants them. Yeah. But then I feel like next month somebody might be like, you guys might be like, oh yeah, I can't keep my trials on my shelf. Sam says, thank you. I'm excited. We're excited for you too, Samantha. Anybody else? Lisa? Okay, you're clear.
Okay, I just want to share some encouragement. You guys are all just busting it out. And June has just been like, I don't know, it's just been a struggle. We had that thing with Jason and Paul, and they did the free credits. I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be great. They're already going to have 25 in credits. I've got credits I can give out. I'm gonna kill June, you know. So Friday morning, the 5th, I go to work and says, thank you for your order. I had forgot to pause my auto ship, so all of my credits
Been there.
went. Yeah. So lesson learned. So, and I felt like anything I posted just didn't, like, I reached out to you, the whole, you know, this is bananas thing. I got nothing on that.
I didn't either. I stole that from Lacey because I loved it and I got nothing, but that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I did something else. Anyway, it was just like nothing, but I just have determined I'm going to keep doing the do.
Yep.
And one night I got in Messenger and I just sent and sent and sent. And I ended up with like 7 or 8 people who ended up doing the accounts. I did get a new customer. I got a Sculpt customer on Friday. So, you know, it's something. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but just be encouraged.
Yep.
It's, you know, just keep doing it. Every day, get up. I was so discouraged. I felt like Laura. I almost called Tammy to have my 5 minute of sulking and being mad and having a fit. But just keep on going. Do not give up. Just keep going.
Amen. Momentum is not luck. It's consistency.
Yes.
Remember, if you start losing 5 pounds, you don't quit. You keep going. So if you get 5 no's, keep going. If you get 5 customers, keep going. It's just the name. It's the nature of the beast. This is sales. I know they don't like to talk about sales, but this is sales. We've got volume. We're meeting goals. Like, that's how you sell something. Someone buys something to make that number. So you just got to keep going. So thank you, Lisa. Thank you for sharing that. And you guys, sometimes you'll see somebody post something and you'll be like, wow, that's amazing. And you may be like, that's amazing because so many people are commenting on their post. And then I could post it 3 days later and get nothing. It's okay. It's you know, sometimes it's going to work. Sometimes it's not. And you never know too. Some people may have already seen that post. Maybe they're friends with that person. Maybe it's a repeat to them. Now, I don't know. But, you know, different strokes for different folks. So Laura says, check your website hits. Yeah, that's another good way to kind of keep track of if what you're posting is making a difference. And so website hits, like, so when you go into the cloud, you can look at reports and it'll show you, I think it's called website traffic on the report, but it'll show you if people, you know, a post could go out there and it could be crickets on Facebook, but you could totally be getting website hits left and right. Lacey says, or maybe the poster didn't get anything either. You know what? Thanks for messing up on that one because I just assumed you were killing it on that one. Bananas post got me nothing, but it was so good. I loved it. We all stole it.
Well, I checked yours to see if you had any comments, and I checked Courtney's to see if she had any comments. So I didn't feel as bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it just flies. But again, like that could have been a post where no one commented, but somebody started peeking around on the website. And that's what we do. We let people know what we have so they can start peeking around. I mean, you guys have done that before. You've seen a car drive by or a commercial or not even the whole thing. And you're like, what was that? And you start trying to find it and you start peeking around and then you start really researching it. So if you think about your buying habits, they're the same as your customers' buying habits. There could be someone who actually, I'll do this really quickly because this I thought was so good. Courtney Glazer told a story that back when I think she was shooting for 200K for the first time, she had some seriously close best friends, like lifelong besties, who started making fun of her, calling her names. And when she held her head high, they blocked her on Facebook. They stopped calling her. They started talking bad about her to people like in their circle. And she kept her head high. She obviously hit the top of the company. I think like today she's already at $750,000 for the month as a team. That bestie who did not speak to her for a year is about to hit the top rank in the company because that bestie came back around, apologized, realized. So to me, what that said is when there's so many times we focus on who is not with us, when what we need to focus on is who is with us. And the people who aren't with us, it doesn't mean that they might not be with us someday. They're just not here right now. And, you know, honestly, if that bestie had joined her early on, she might have been a really bad influence and been negative, and she could have totally derailed Courtney. So if you have people giving you crap, or you have people who you like, who you love, and you don't understand why they won't, Courtney Glazer's sister still to this day will not thrive. Think about that. Her sister will not thrive. She makes more money than I even know how to add. So don't focus on the people who aren't with you. Focus on the people who are, because Laura, where's my sister takes gummy vitamins. Oh, that made me chuckle. See, case in point, Laura has a car. She's been on how many trips, and her sister still won't ride with her. So again, Olivia says her sister won't either. And you guys, maybe that's it. Maybe that's your character building moment, that you keep your head high and you keep moving anyway, even though your sisters aren't with you. Maybe your best friend is being shitty to you. You know what you're doing is important and good, and that's what matters. The cream rises to the top. I say it all the time. The cream rises to the top. My sister took it and felt great, but won't get back on it. Some people don't like to feel good. Some people legitimately enjoy feeling bad, so they have something to bitch about. But that's not us. We're all here, right? So keep that in mind. If you find yourself focusing on somebody who won't thrive with you, remember that they might down the road. But think of all the people who are thriving with you. That's what you need to focus on. All right, with that, we're done. I'm sorry I kept you a few minutes late. You guys are amazing. Thank you a bunch. I will post this recording for anyone who needs to hear it. And I'll see you next week.